All right, we are in Detroit. We are at Rapid TCT 2025, and I'm going to be showing you guys around a ton of different booths. There's too many here to show you guys everything, so I'm going to stick with the stuff that I find really interesting and what other people I think might also find really interesting. Because there's over 500 booths, and I don't think you guys want to sit through 500 booths worth of listening to me talk, especially me, you know? So we are going to start with whatever we start with. I don't know what we're starting with, but stick around and let's have fun, guys. Hey guys, it's Martin here with Greengate 3D. I'm here with Barbara, and she's going to tell us a little bit about some of their initiatives.
Hi there. So like you said, I'm Barbara from Greengate 3D, and our company manufactures PETG filament, and it comes from 100% post-industrial scrap plastics here in the U.S. It comes from the packaging material world. Okay. One source only, so there's always the consistency and no cross-contamination. Okay. So from this, we have it pelletized, and since the packaging is so clear, our pellets are so clear, and that's why with a lot of our translucent colors, you can see the clarity because we're starting with such clear material. Yeah, that rose was printed with a 1.2 nozzle, so it has the glass look.
That's awesome. I love it.
And we just introduced a new color, brand new for Michigan State. It's called Spartan Armor Green.
Spartan Armor Green?
Yeah, like I was saying, we have over 30 colors, and we're in the process of coming out with a few more. And one of our claim to fames with our PETG is that it can actually print on PLA settings. Okay. So if somebody doesn't want to reslice, you just plug and go, except you would raise the temperature of your bed to 85.
Okay. Now, where can we buy some of your products? Are you guys just straight from your website, or are you on Amazon? Or?
We have Amazon, we have our website, and we also have, you could just send us a PO. Yeah, because sometimes not every single thing is always on our website. Right. So people reach out to us at www.greengate3d.com. Okay. They can see, or else you can always email at customer service at greengate3d.com. Nice and easy. Yeah. And inquire that way.
Awesome. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right, guys, I'm here over at the Meltio booth, and I'm here with my friend Gabriel, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what they do.
Thank you, Martin. Appreciate the opportunity. So we're Meltio, a company based out of the United States, Spain, and we basically weld, and through welding, we conduct additive manufacturing, the 3D printing that everybody understands, right? Mm-hmm. It's the up-and-going technology, but what our uniqueness is the fact that we use welding wire, just traditional welding wire, and by using low-power lasers in multiple numbers, we're able to get sufficient energy to melt the wire and produce parts from the get-go. Okay. Now, the interesting part of our technology is that it can be used for producing a part from zero, but also it can be used to repair parts. You don't have to only, so you can take an original part that has some wear to it or has broken and just simply add more metal to put it back in function.
So, for example, this propeller that's behind me, if it got a crack in it, you guys could just scan it and do some work to fix it?
Yes, we could.
Okay.
Yes, we could. Simply, we put it back on the same machine that produced it, or even if the impeller was originally manufactured through a different process, as long as there's compatibility of the alloys, we could take it, put it on the printer, add material, send it to a CNC, get machine, and back in operation.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's amazing where we're going with technology now.
It is, and we're pushing some of the limits by making sure our systems have dual material capability. In some cases, like this machine right here, has quad wire capability, meaning I could take 4 different alloys and create a part made out of 4 different alloys.
Okay. Now, would it be? I'm ignorant to how that works. Would it be to do some infill differentiation, or is it to make new constructs?
So
I apologize for the rudimentary.
Typically, it is a great question, and definitely when we think additive, we many times think about infills, we think about support, etc. In our case specifically, because it is metal,
you don't need support as much.
Well, also the infill concept a lot of times is not as efficient, right?
Okay.
Typically our customers are looking for metal parts that are of such quality that are similar to what you produce when you cast or forge. So for those concepts, you need solid metal.
Right.
In many cases, okay? And the density level of the produced parts is critical to the resulting tensile strength. Okay, so for us, typically we don't talk about infills. When we talk about multiple alloys, we like to talk about them for the purpose of making more efficient parts.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. If you talk about producing a mold, say for bottle manufacturing,
Yeah.
the molds in production need to or end up resulting on cycle times for production. So I'm going to propose to you that you could build a mold that is made out of stainless steel, 316 stainless steel, but then you produce the cooling channels internal to the mold with copper, which is much more thermally efficient.
Right.
And you could do it with a single machine printed at one point where both the structure and the cooling channels are produced in the same print.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It is. We're excited about it.
That's amazing. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Martin.
It was nice to meet you. Thank you. All right, guys. And yes, I'm probably going to fanboy over everything because I am a little kid. So deal with it. All right, now here we're at the Elegoo booth finally, and we're going to start out with the brand new Centauri Carbon. And this thing is printing a cat at the moment, it looks like. Looks like we have a side-mounted mount for the filament, and then you got your runout sensor right here, and then it goes all the way up and into the back. We have a couple vents for exhaust, and you have your little mini Centauri for your poop bucket. Although I would like to have it routing out to the side like the Bambus do on the left, because you can't do it on the right because that's where that is at. So I think that's a little bit of a miss, but it's not a huge deal. One thing that I did notice that I like better than a lot of the other 3D printers that I have is the USB is on the front. I've never understood why companies put it on the back or on the side. I think it's a nice little win for them. So that's pretty cool. And then here we have the next printer on my list. I probably won't get it, but you gotta at least look at it while I'm here. This thing is sweet. And is not as big in person as I expected it to be, so now that I'm here, maybe I can fit this in my office or, at the foot of my bed. I'll use it as a headboard, We'll just put a little board on it and it'll be up to the head of my bed. That's what we'll have to do for this guy. Looks like they printed some stools with it. This is awesome. And you got this little table too. All right, look at this big behemoth of a resin printer. This is the Jupiter 2. This thing is crazy. It looks like it just got done with some prints. So we're going to open this up. Okay. Look at these guys. I hope my thing picks up the quality. It looks like we have one miss right here. That guy didn't make it, but it's okay. Having never done resin prints, it just amazes me the quality difference between FDM and resin. Like, these things are just incredible. Oh, we got a couple misses over here, guys. Sorry. Oh man, now that I think about it, look at this. We only have a couple wins here. It's possible that people were messing with these things. You never know. I'm not going to judge them too much, but none of the swords made it, except for 5, 6. But it's okay. We're not going to judge them because I'm willing to bet that some of the thousands of people visiting here maybe have messed with some stuff. So we're not going to judge them too hard. We'll judge them off of this eagle. Or actually, this is not an eagle. I don't know what that is. But that looks just amazing. Come on, focus for me. There we go. Oh, it's not focusing. But that is really sweet. All right, then here we have the Big Rep 1. And honestly, this makes the Orange Storm Giga kind of look tiny. And it has a lot of things that it does better. For example, the best thing is it has one PEI sheet instead of the 4 PEI sheets that the Orange Storm has. Although I can imagine this would be a bit of a pain if you have your skirt all the way around the end and you have like a very large print. But this isn't anything that you and I are probably ever going to need. But, you know, this thing is massive. I wish I had my wide angle on this so I wouldn't have to get back so far. Although it's okay because Big Rep's booth is pretty big. Hey guys, I'm here at Formlabs. I'm here with Cameron, and he's going to do a quick walkthrough of some of their new printers.
Certainly. We're going to show the whole workflow of the Form 4 3D printers, as with the printer, the wash station, and the cure station from beginning to end, getting a part completed, printed in just 10 minutes, and the entire workflow in 20 minutes.
Awesome. Let's see it.
On this printer here, you can see that I'm getting it ready for a new print. We have our pre-flight checklist going. So right now, I'm going to confirm that we did in fact install that new tank. We have that resin cartridge installed in the back, and all that we're missing now is our build platform. Sliding it into the top here, latching it secured, hitting yes that I've installed a clean build platform with green check marks all across. We are good to go. Just for reference, swap materials, it's as easy as sliding out the cartridge in the back. And when it comes to replacing new resin inside, all you need to do is unclip our mixer arm here, and the two clips on either side will remove the entire tray all at once. Now this entire tray will come with a lid that you can stack it on the shelf, and will not degrade by storing resin in it. With our 2 years of resin shelf life, you can store it for quite a long time, giving you plenty of time to use the resin. So I'm just clipping everything back in. Again, we're back to our pre-flight checklist, hitting yes for a good to go with our new print. So I'm going to go back to our print library here. I'm going to select one of these Raspberry Pi cases that we've been printing all day. We're going to go ahead and get started with a new print here. So this printer will control the viscosity of the resin through the temperature, as well as keep it well mixed with that mixer arm. And this print will, once it gets going, will take only 10 minutes. So, pretty awesome use case. After that print is done, like I said, it'll go into this wash station. Our proprietary wash solution will need to get parts rinsed off in water here very briefly. And once those parts get dried off there, they'll be entered into the Form Cure station. Now this is the new Form Cure 2nd Gen. These are some parts I printed just a little bit earlier. All it takes is to set them inside the Cure station. And since Formlabs is a vertically integrated company, we have optimized the entire workflow for both our resins, our software, and the hardware. That all of it works together, that you only need to select what material you printed in, and the Cure station will handle everything else. You can see we actually have our entire material library in this bottom screen. So today we're printing our fast model resin. I'm going to select that one, hit start, and off to the races. Our general purpose resins used to cure in about 5 minutes in the previous generation Cure station, now cure in only 1 minute. Now those higher performance engineering grade resins would normally take like an hour or two to cure, now cure in less than 10 minutes in this new Form Cure 2nd Gen. So reliability and speed is really the name of the game for the new Form 4 3D printer. And the way we achieve that is by using a MSLA technology. So we have a high-powered UV LED spotlight built into the bottom of the printer. This is actually one of the highest power spotlights on the market for this creative 3D printer. And all that light is filtered through a bespoke LCD screen. Formlabs had to redesign this LCD screen not to burn out with a high-powered UV. And in doing so, can filter out that light and shape it using the collimated light, making sure everything's parallel to itself and perpendicular to the build platform. So think of this kind of like the bat signal. You have your spotlight, you have Batman's logo, shaping that light, creating the shape on each build platform, printing an entire layer all at once. So the Form 4's build volume is about 8 inches by 5 inches by 8 inches tall. And your print speed is really determined by that seed. It doesn't matter if you're taking up the entire build volume in X and Y, or printing multiple parts at once. You can actually get the same print time regardless.
And while you're done, that is already cured.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In just 1 minute, these parts are cured, so we are already done. This part has been quite over-cured through many demos today. But This entire workflow taking less than 20 minutes to get a fully functional Raspberry Pi case with an injection molded surface.
That is pretty amazing.
Take a look at this part here.
That's awesome. That's sweet.
No problem. Do you have any questions?
No, I think you covered everything. I really appreciate it. This is really cool.
Certainly.
Thank you. All right, guys, I am now here with Lumis Polymers with Tom. And Tom, you're going to tell us a little bit about you guys and what you do and some of your prosthetics and some of your materials.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lumis Polymers is a supplier of engineered materials, right? We were built around being a custom developer to meet material needs for demanding applications. So we're here talking about our line of filaments, pellets, and powders. One of the biggest things that we're showing off is our PK5000 powder for selective laser sintering.
Okay.
So PK5000 is a really unique material in this space because it's got the best of polypropylene and nylon 11, right? It's very, very tough, very chemical resistant.
Okay.
And we're seeing a lot of adoption in defense and aerospace for UAVs and drones. It can withhold fuels and other corrosive chemicals.
Really?
And the other great thing is just the damage tolerance. So we've seen a lot of use in prosthetics. We've seen a lot of use in orthotics.
Okay.
Because it's got a really high elongation to failure and a really high resilience. So that means you can really put some force into this thing without worrying about it breaking.
Yeah.
So typically people worry about things printed in the Z-axis like this shattering with some flex, but you can see PK5000 can just go over and over and over again, right? It's got a really high fatigue life.
Yeah.
And that's great in applications like prosthetics, right? Because we have a user who actually outfitted a girl in her early 20s who has a under-knee amputation. With PA12, she was going through these things in like 8 months, right? PK got her to 18 months, and when it did fail, it was a tiny crack at the bottom, and she was able to walk home, right, and get refitted with a new orthotic, right?
So 18 months before failure.
Before failure.
That is incredible.
It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
And the great thing is, again, when those other materials failed in her, she was stuck, right?
Yeah.
They shattered. She had to go get help to actually get home.
Yeah.
PK, you were able to just keep on going even with that damage to the part. So really, really unique material in the space that opens up a lot of end-use applications.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you talk about this prosthetic this for a minute too?
Yeah, this one's really cool as well. So this is also PK5000, right? This is actually a vapor smooth part, but this is for a little girl. I think at 12 she had under elbow amputation. Okay. But she loves doing cosplay and going to shows, so they actually outfitted her with a custom PK5000 prosthetic. And again, same deal. She's a very active young lady. Yeah. Very, very tough to keep up with her lifestyle. So PK5000 is a great fit for her prosthetic. Yeah. And this looks like a helmet too. What about this thing? Yeah, so this is not PK. So this is a really unique polycarbonate alloy. So we custom developed this material for KAV, who's a supplier of bike helmets. And these are fully printed, and they actually comply with all the standards that a typical formed or molded bike helmet's going to do. So we engineered this material to have just excellent Z-layer adhesion and low temp impact, right? So this has literally, if you go on the KAV site and follow them on LinkedIn, right, they talk about literal life-saving events through a 3D printed helmet enabled by custom materials development. That's absolutely amazing. Now, can I, what kind of temperatures does this run? Can I print this at an at-home printer, or do I need something industrial? No, absolutely. We've seen this print on Prusa's, Bambu's, Multimakers, right? Really all across the board. I'd say you're going to print this really similar that you do with PETG, right? Awesome. So it's not an overly demanding material, but really resilient in the application. That's awesome. I appreciate your time. Yeah, absolutely. Great to meet you. Thank you, you too. All right, guys, we're back at Formlabs right now. We are going to be doing a hammer and nail test. So these are resin-printed hammers and resin-printed nails, and we are going to be pounding them into wood. Like, check this out. Like, these are just pounded into wood. I think these ones are actual nails, not the 3D printed ones. But I saw the 3D printed ones. I just don't know what they did with them. Where's the hammer? Here's the hammer. So look at this 3D printed hammer. This is freaking sweet. I guess Joel was here yesterday and got, what was his score? I think I heard he got a hammer or a nail nailed in like 10 seconds or something. So they're going to be doing a contest to see who can hammer it in the fastest. I am signed up. I'm planning on asking Akuma mods and standing behind me to hold my camera to show me make a fool of myself. So hopefully you guys get to enjoy that. But, you know, I like making a fool of myself. It's fun. All right, bye.
Okay, so they canceled the competition, but they're still going to let me hammer in some nails for you guys, so I will show you that right now.
Oh, God.
Oh, gotta be safe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
This is not going to work.
All right, you got it? You ready?
Let's go.
Oh, bent in half. You blew it. I blew it. Thank you very much. Hey, it bent, but it bent. But look at this. Like, there's no marks on it.
What?
I mean, there is marks on it.
You can
I've
bend
been
the
doing
nail
this all
with the
day with
resin
this side
printed in half.
and this one.
And that,
So
my friend,
just
is
imagine what
resin.
you can do. I can't imagine that you can do this with FDM, but you can definitely do it with resin, which is just amazing. Which resin is this?
Biomet durable.
What is it?
Biomet durable.
Biomet durable? Okay. So this is their Biomet durable resin, and it's obviously tough enough to hammer in a nail into wood. And this isn't just like thin wood, that's like ½ inch, I think. So that's ½ inch pine. So that's really sweet. All right. And then they also gave me a participation trophy award, a Joel trophy. So I'm gonna have to tag Joel in this so that he sees I got one of his trophies. Okay, so these guys are literally wrapping up right now. Like they're literally rolling up the carpet. So I'm gonna try to take a look at the H2D before I get out of here. So here it is. These are my first looks. And what do we got? 350 by 320 by 325. And I have the Flash Forge. So on my other dual head printer, it cuts off the side. So I know somebody on YouTube said it before how big the actual print size is, but I imagine it kind of goes from like right here to right here, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It looks like we got the vent in the back, and it looks like that comes out. So you probably have the carbon filters back there. You still have your standard part cooling fan right here. Let's see, where is our cameras? Camera's in the same spot right there, so that's cool. Nothing too different on the inside from the P1S that I own, although I'm sure I'm not correct on that, but you know, it's fine. The thing I'm most excited about, honestly, is just the AMS2. The fact that it has the dryer built into it is pretty neat. So that's cool. And then they have the HMS ST. I think, what else? This is that fan that they have for exhaust. And then, unfortunately, again, they put that filament rack on the back. Why everybody keeps doing that, I don't know. That's the one thing that Elegoo got right with the carbon, is that they put it on the side. And here is the green one with the laser. It's not printing right now, so we'll just open this up. Oh look, it has that little standoff tray in there, which is kind of cool. And what's different else about this? It's got the laser attachment on it right now, so that's neat. But unfortunately, I feel like it's a little underwhelming compared to a lot of things, but it is what it is. I'm probably not going to get it. There's other stuff that at the show that I liked more. All right, I wasn't planning on stopping at the Sunlu booth, but I got to show you guys the cutest little printer I've ever seen. Now, this is a true desktop printer. Like we always called the Bambus the desktop printers. No, look at this. Kid Oodle. Yeah, this one, Kid Oodle. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, but look how tiny it is. It's so cute. What's that one movie? The girl's like, it's so fluffy, I want to die. So they're kicking us out right now, apparently. They're literally here. Look at this. They're literally rolling up the carpet right now because they're just done, and they're like, all right, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So this has been a really cool event. EBIS, I don't know, EBIOS, whatever it's called. They just gave me like, I don't know, I think I have like 8 rolls of filament. So That guy is really cool, and I interviewed him earlier, so obviously you saw him, but they just gave me a bunch of rolls, so I'm going to do some printing, reviewing some of those rolls for you guys so that you can check them out. And I might have just gotten a printer. I don't know. He didn't say whether I could talk about it or not. It wasn't eBoss, it was somebody else that was near him. But he told me to email him, so hopefully I have a review video that I can do for you guys. So that would be pretty amazing. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everything. There's just so much to go over, and I think I only went over like a dozen of them, but I looked at every booth, so believe me, I'm just telling you about the ones that I thought were the most standout. I don't know. What was your favorite one? What product are you looking forward to the most? And I don't know. If you were here, let me know. I missed you. I hung out with the Kuma mods a lot, so. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.